Hey, good morning everyone, Trackman 44 here. So I'm gonna make a junk run today. Junk's at $200 a ton, and I think I got about 600 pounds, maybe, on the trailer. Oh, maybe 750 pounds. Now, the much older brother, he always tells me whenever I go in across the scales, just go ahead and walk home and just leave the truck down there and just take whatever they give me for it, you know. But that's the much older brother. He likes the finer things in life, and you know, I like the old wore out stuff, you know. Back into the familiar surroundings. Heavy duty bridge. Pretty good bump right there coming off the bridge. Looks like they're busy, but they're not crazy busy. Looks like junk price is up right now too. Hope you don't pick the trailer up with that car. It's funny, sometimes you use the magnet at some of the other salvage yards, and the magnet will try to pick my trailer up because it's an all steel trailer. This boy running the rig here is the owner's son. Over there, way over on the left, an orange shirt. He's a buddy of mine. I'm gonna have to clean out the bottom of the trailer for him. Well, you see the 9,100 flashing over the window? That's my empty weight. So the truck in this little 10-foot trailer weighs 9,100 pounds. Well, as usual, I always like to underestimate what I have. I didn't really want to say I thought I had 1,000 pounds, but at any rate, it looks like I had 1,300 pounds, which is really pretty good for a grand total today of $143. Not too bad for just junk. Okay, first load wasn't too bad, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to get a little more serious on the second load. This is a 12-foot woods mower, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut parts and pieces off of this, like this front end, a lot of this nice steel, and save that for future projects. Of course, I've got the jack in the bucket of the tractor, the power takeoff shaft and shield. Have to negotiate this turn here. Yeah, there's a Toyota forklift sitting there. I'd kind of like to get rid of that. That thing's running real good. It fires on propane, and it'll sit for 2 or 3 years at a time, and it'll fire up quick and simple. But the doggone thing, the last time I went to use it, it had the master cylinder had failed, and I never had time to get into it and do any work on it. But it's really a good, nice running forklift. Well, I got to negotiate this thing in here real quick. I'll be right back. Well, here's the underside. Got to make sure it's good and secure. I got loader props on my hydraulic cylinders to make sure it won't come down. I can't believe how easy that came out. Well, it might not be worth it to some of y'all, but that 10 minutes of exercise netted me just a couple pieces of 3/8 down here, which ain't a big deal. I got a lot of that scrap around, but a couple of lengths of half inch plate, which is always kind of nice to have. I don't have a whole lot of that, and also a couple of pretty nice plates of 3/4 inch. You have any question about how much this is worth, just run down to local supply house and buy you a chunk of 3/4 inch material, something big enough to make a small project out of what these will probably end up being one day. And that's going to be it. The rest of this is on the way to Junkyard. And the cool thing about plasma is, just with a shaky hand like I've got, look how nice you can make a cut. Now this is in used rusty and painted steel, and it kind of inhibits that that flow of air and that arc, maintaining that arc. You could see I had a trouble sometimes getting all the way through with the arc, but that's because of the impurities on the surface. For plasma, what I'm using is the Hypertherm Parmax 65, and I got the 25-foot leads on it. In clean new steel, you can puncture and cut 1 inch maximum. I think they recommend 3/4, but I have cut 1 inch with it. Cuts it pretty good. You just have to cut slow at the highest possible setting. It automatically adjusts the air pressure depending on the setting that you've got. Of course, you can select manual or automatic. I like to select automatic because I know the machine's much smarter than I am based on what I set it at for cutting the material I'm cutting. I'm still not real well versed on the plasma. I'm still learning a little bit about them, but I really love this thing to death. Nothing but compressed air and that fancy little arc coming out of that thing. That's cutting this material. So sure saves on oxygen acetylene. Everything stripped off, everything that I want, all the good iron. So we're heading for the trailer. No reason to get in a big hurry when you're carrying something either heavy or awkward. The faster you go, the better chance you got of shaking something loose. I don't think I've got 12 foot to the left here in between some trees back in there, so I got to go all the way around the backside. Making a circle back here by the pile of wood. That's our tree trimmer pile there. On the side note, there is some gnarly looking things in there, ain't they? Just barely wanted to lift that. Of course, lifting way out there on the edge like that, there's a lot less liftability because you're so far away from the pins. But it did it. That's all that matters. This time I rigged it a little different. If you notice, I don't have the chain binder in the middle there pulling back in one position. What I've done, I just used 2 chains and letting the force of the bucket and the forks up underneath it tighten up the chains and do the lifting. Ready to head to the junkyard. That looks so pitiful on there on that bigger trailer. I'm gonna have to find something else to put on top of it. Well, guys, thanks for hanging in there with me, getting the second load prepped for the salvage yard. Tried to keep it from being too awfully boring, but you know what? It is what it is, and this is Tractor Man 44, and I'm out of here, guys.